And there is Wilbert Vampire Johnson out of Middletown, Ohio, now fighting out of Indianapolis as he prepares to go up against the beast, John Mugabi. Mugabi, 23 years old, from Uganda, now living in London, England. That record of 21-0, all 21 by knockout. And Vampire Johnson getting set to make his entrance toward the ring. Should be pointed out, Vampire did not lose his 4 front teeth in the boxing ring. Lost his teeth playing football in high school. Says after he got his teeth knocked out, decided to give up football for something easier, like boxing. John Mugabi, Vampire Johnson, just ahead here on ringside. In Maracaibo, Venezuela. A crowd of about 1,200 here at the Hotel del Lago in downtown Maracaibo. However, there is no gate for the program today. The reason, it is election day in Venezuela, and traditionally Venezuelan electoral authorities suspend all public functions on election day. So to get around it, the promoter Rafito Cedeno has invited only the media, reporters, and his friends admitted to this ballroom.
It's the world's biggest house party for Rafito Cedeno. There's the Vampire in his Dracula coat.
And the Vampire jumping out of a coffin. A grave situation indeed as he makes his entrance toward the ring.
No, boxing has always had its individuals, and this is one of them.
So here is Wilbert Vampire Johnson. The transformation from Wilbert Johnson to Vampire Johnson came in January of '81 when he began to growl and bare his fangs in the ring. Friends had been calling him Vampire since he had lost his front teeth in high school, but now this has all become part of his act.
Boxing has had some crazy acts in its day, but it's the first time I've ever seen a guy leap out of a coffin to come into a boxing ring.
And here comes the beast, John Mugabi. He is ranked second among junior middleweights by the WBC, fifth by the WBA in the 154-pound class, led by his manager, Mickey Duff, and his trainer, George Francis. John Mugabi, the 1980 Olympic silver medal winner in Moscow, following a magnificent amateur career. It began at age 12, included nearly 200 fights, many against international competition. And Mugabi getting set to go against this man, Wilbert Vampire Johnson. So Vampire complete with the black satin Dracula cape. And now John Mugabi making his way. Mugabi, the rarest of breeds, the pure knockout puncher, 21 for 21. The many elements of Vampire Johnson's act vary from state to state. Back in the United States, depending on how strict or lenient the local authorities and commissions are, usually he will add food coloring to his water bottle to give it the blood red effect. And at times, as we saw moments ago, he does enter the ring carried in a coffin. If he's in trouble, will he use the coffin corner? Well, that's football.
Now, one thing, he has nothing to lose tonight. He comes in as a distinct underdog. Should he surprise John the Beast Mugabi, it would be one of the resounding upsets of the year. However, we have had a year of upsets, and anything goes. when that bell rings.
Scoring is on the 10-point must system. 3 knockdowns stop the fight. The bell can save the fighter from rounds 1 through 9, but not in the 10th and final round. And the 2 judges and the referee Enzo Montero handle the scoring. Mandatory 8 count in effect, no standing 8, and only the referee can stop the bout. Vampire Johnson's last fight, 8th round knockout of Frank Lux last March. His previous fight, a 10-round draw against Nino Gonzalez. Vampire Johnson actually turned pro as a heavyweight. He had ballooned to 202 pounds on a welterweight frame, and then he went down to light heavyweight and eventually to middleweight and junior middleweight. Set for round 1 from Maracaibo, Venezuela. Mugabi in the white and Johnson in the red.
Bear in mind, Mugabi likes to start fast. He likes to get in there and get this over with. Vampire keeps his hands off. He's had a record where he's never been off his feet. A record that stands in jeopardy today because he's standing in front of a man who has never heard a decision in professional boxing.
Oh, the right hand by Mugabi. Height advantage for Vampire Johnson. And Mugabi showing us his speed.
Mugabi, a junior middleweight, standing in, waiting for his title chances, which should come this fall. But to me, he looks like he's filling out to a middleweight. It's his intention to take on Hagler somewhere down the road. He's not far from it. He has a rather large, well-muscled body.
Mugabi getting the left hand in on Johnson. And John Mugabi getting down to business here as we hit the halfway mark of round 1.
I think he caught the Vampire's attention with that series of punches. Feet by 17 feet, the smallest I've seen. A virtual phone booth is in Mugabi's favor. There's not much room to maneuver to get away from him. Vampire showing a lot of motion this first round. Trying to survive. Trying to figure out what it is that he can do. John defeats Mugabi.
Mugabi comes off his toughest bout as a pro, taking 10 rounds, stopping James Hard Rock Green in the 10th, and now Mugabi showing great confidence. The hands are down low.
He has such fast reflexes, and his punches are so hard. He's beginning to reach the Vampire.
Up on 15 seconds left in round 1. The Beast pursuing the Vampire throughout this first round. We'll be back right after these words.
When you buy a new car,
In Maracaibo, Venezuela, Marv Albert and Ferdy Pacheco, we apologize for the audio problems here at the start of ringside. This is round 2. John Mugabi in the white, Wilbert Vampire Johnson in the red. Decisive opening round for the Beast Mugabi.
In the corner, Vampire Johnson's been told to show even more movement and to jab as he moves.
A short left by Mugabi.
He doesn't know where he's at. He doesn't know where he's at. They should stop it. They should stop it. That's it. This mat has no padding whatsoever. His head hit there with a resounding thud. The judge was very wise in stopping this.
Enzo Montero with the quick call as Mugabi got the left hand in, and Johnson just could not clear his head. And that's it. A second-round knockout for John the Beast Mugabi. Take another look at it.
That's a thudding hook, no question. And Mugabi throws with such power. Bear in mind, this man's never been down. This is a one-punch knockout, right on the button. Now watch his head. It's criminal the way this padding has been eliminated from the ring. The ring is a pure boards with a very thin horsehair, which is not only devastating to the legs, but when they get hit, watch the head bounce up there. The referee was very wise in not allowing this.
Plus, as you mentioned, a very small ring. I wonder how Vampire Johnson's people could scout this out and say, okay, this is fine, 17-foot ring against a power puncher like Mugabi, and accept these conditions.
I think it's just an immature move on their part. They're not professional enough to object. I would have objected. My fighter would not have come into a 17-foot ring with no padding whatsoever on the floor.
John Mugabi making it a record of 22-0, all 22 by knockout, as he takes out Vampire Johnson early in round 2.
They didn't buy it.
And we welcome you back to Maracaibo, Venezuela, where moments ago John Mugabi continued the knockout string. 22-0, all 22 by knockout. No problems at all with Vampire Johnson. That short left hand in round 2 putting him down, and that was the story.
Well, he's got one punching power, as we saw with Curtis Parker, who's never been off his feet. Here's another guy never off his feet, one punch and knocks him out. I think he took 2 punches. I think he took that one and the one when he hit the floor, because the floor here is just a piece of concrete. It's like getting hit a second time.
The only problem that Mugabi has had, his last fight, tough one against James Hard Rock Green. In fact, Mugabi appeared to be in trouble back in that third round. He took a thumb in the eye and had some anxious moments.
Well, that was his real test, because we know Hard Rock Green. He's tough, he's gritty, he's so small, and he's so determined. But he passed the test well. He needs more of those fights and less of these if he's going to fight Hagler and the top fighters.
John Mugabi of Uganda continuing right along, 22-0, all 22 by knockout. We do have more boxing upcoming.